Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel Rather Be Reading, and today I'm bringing to you my August book haul. So I acquired a couple of books in August. I only acquired three of my own, but I also had a bunch of library books that I want to show you that I acquired in August, so let's just get started and I'll show you what I got this month. So the first thing I have to show you is actually a graphic novel, and that is Morning Glories Volume 1. This is words by Nick Spencer and art by Joe Eisma. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I have only ever read the Saga graphic novels, but I really enjoyed them. I've heard a few people talk about this series on BookTube. I'm not actually even sure what it's about, but they've described it as being really like confusing, kind of psychological, kind of mindfuck almost kind of series, and that just really sounds like something I would enjoy, so I wanted to pick it up and check it out and see if I like it. So I got Volume 1 from my library. The next book I picked up from my library this month that I have to show you is Emma by Jane Austen. As you guys might know, I've been trying to read all of Jane Austen's books this year. So far, I have read Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, and Mansfield Park, and Emma is the next one that I'm planning to pick up. And this is gorgeous copy of this book. This is one I randomly picked off the shelf from the library because I wanted to get this one and I saw it, and if you guys can see that, like this is like a cloth. It is gorgeous, and I really love it, but I'm definitely looking forward to picking this one up. I don't actually even know what this Jane Austen book is about, but I know that the movie Clueless, which I friggin' love, is based on this book, so that's enough for me. The next book I picked up from the library is Bloodwork by Michael Connelly. As you guys might know on this channel, I have been reading the Harry Bosch series, and I had the next book checked out from the library, and then I looked at it, and Michael Connelly does this thing where sometimes his series kind of cross over, and the next book that was listed as actually being in the Harry Bosch series is actually told from another person's perspective of another series of books that he writes. And I think Harry Bosch is just involved as a minor character. And at first I thought, oh, I don't really want to get involved in another series because this series is already quite long. But then I had a look, and the series that follows that character, I'm sorry, this is really confusing. It's only 2 books. So I thought I might as well, it's only 2 books. And the second book is the one that involves Bosch. So I thought, just for completeness, I'm just going to get the first book, which is this one, Bloodwork. This follows Terry McCaleb. I don't even really know what this is about. I just wanted to get it so that I can read this one and then read the second book in this series, the second and final book in this series, which involves Harry Bosch. It's all very confusing, but I plan to read it, and yeah. Next, I have Dark Angel by Virginia Andrews. This is the second book in the Castile series, I think it's called. I read a lot of Virginia Andrews as a teenager growing up, and I read a bunch of her series, and I just one day just decided I just wanted to go back and check out some of her series again. And this is a series that I think I'd read, but I'm now actually not sure, as spoiler alert, I read the first one in August, so spoiler for my August wrap up, so that's why this is Dark Angel, the second book in the series. But now, actually, after having read the book, I'm not even sure if I've actually ever even read this series, but I read the first one. I wanted to keep going, so I got the second book. Next, I have The Big Four by Agatha Christie. This is the 5th book in the Hercule Poirot series, which I've been reading and really enjoying, and this is the next installment, so I picked this one up from my library. Next, I have The Ghost of Ravenhill by Emily Rodda. This is the first book in the Teen Power Inc. series, or I think they're also called the Ravenhill Mysteries series. This is by an Australian author. It is a children's series that follows like a group of characters who kind of solve mysteries. I've mentioned it once before on this channel, I think, but I loved these books growing up. Like, I loved them, and I wanted to buy them all because I had a bunch of them when I was younger, but I don't own them anymore. But they're out of print now, and some of the copies of these books are really expensive. Like on eBay, some of them are like $70, and I was like, I'm not paying $70 for one children's book. I just don't have the money. If I was rich, I would buy them. But so I really did want to revisit this series and reread them just for nostalgia reasons. So I decided to just see if they had them at my library, and they had the first one, so I thought I'd obviously start there. So I picked up this one. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this and seeing if I love them as much as I did when I was a kid. The final book I have from the library is The Julius House by Charlaine Harris. This is I think it's the 4th book in the Aurora Teagarden series, which I have been reading, and this is the next installment, so I picked this one up as well. Now let's move on to the 3 books that I actually purchased for myself in August. The first one I have here is actually a book that I have already read before I bought it, but I wanted to own a physical copy because I've never owned a copy of this book for some reason, and so I purchased To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I really enjoyed this book. It's a classic and it's one that I really enjoy, and I wanted to own a copy. As I'm sure you all know, there is a sequel to this book out now called Go Set a Watchman. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up. I'm not the type of person normally who just doesn't read things. I always finish series, but I'm scared to read it because I've heard some really poor things about it just in general and about Atticus, and I just don't know if my heart can handle it. So if you guys have read that and have any thoughts about it, please let me know what you thought. But I did definitely want to own this book, and so I bought it in August. The next book I bought in August was World After by Susan E. I got the first book, Angel Fall, as part of my birthday book haul, which you may have seen, and I wanted to keep buying, so I have all the books of the trilogy when now I've got the second one and can move on to it when I read the first one, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to really enjoy this series. And I am someone who will buy all the books in the series, generally, before I read a series, so I picked up the next book, World After. The final book I purchased in August is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I'm sure you've all seen this book around a heap on BookTube. It's really popular here. I've heard a lot about it. It follows a main character who, every time she's got a crush on a boy, I believe she writes them a love letter, but she doesn't send it. She just writes it kind of for her own kind of closure after she's, I think, gotten over them. But then one day all the letters that she's written to these boys get sent out, and it's dealing with the aftermath of that. I think it sounds really cute, and I don't read a lot of just like fluffy contemporary, but I do enjoy them. So I wanted to pick this one up, and I will hopefully soon be picking up the sequel to this, P.S. I Still Love You. But this is the last book that I got in August. So those are all the books that I bought. If you guys have read any of these books or have bought any of these books or just have anything to say about any of these books or anything else, please comment down below. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. That's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys!